Not everything that heals is visible. Not everything that transforms comes from outside. There are ancient vibrations that transcend time, forgotten frequencies that whisper secrets to the soul, and that have echoed in the silence since the origin of the universe. This is how far we have come today. Remember, solfeggio frequencies are not ordinary musical notes or ornamental melodies. They are fundamental vibrations, sound codes that activate invisible dimensions of your being. Each of these frequencies is a portal, a vibrational key, an energetic formula that touches deep structures of body, mind, and soul. These frequencies remained hidden for centuries. They were revealed in sacred hymns such as the hymn to Saint John. Preserved in numerical structures by sages and alchemists, we know them today not only as a harmonic sequence, but as a tool for cosmic reordering. For they were not created by musicians, but revealed by sages who understood that the universe is not made of matter, but of vibrations. And now, in this era of spiritual reactivation, these 9 frequencies are resurfacing, not as a fad, but as a deep need, because we have become disconnected from our inner harmony. We live in distorted frequencies, tuned to the noise of the world rather than the melody of the soul. Yet it is possible to return, resonate with the source, and hear the original song again. In this video, we explore the 9 expanded solfeggio frequencies, from the lowest vibrations that affect the physical body and grounding, to the highest that open subtle perception and awaken the divine. Every frequency has a purpose, an owner, a mission. And if you know how to listen to it, you can bring it back to you. We explore your hidden history, your spiritual architecture, and most importantly, how you can integrate it into your life to heal, activate, and evolve. This isn't a video about sound. It's a call to remember what your soul has always known, that you are a symphony waiting to be tuned, that the universe is singing, and you can join in. Because in the beginning there was no word. There was a vibration, and that vibration still lives within you. Before temples were built and gods were named, the universe was already vibrating. It vibrated in order, it vibrated in geometry, it vibrated in sound. Not sound as we understand it today, but a pulse, a deep resonance that organized matter, space, and time. This primordial sound has not been destroyed, but forgotten. In the esoteric tradition, we call it the original solfeggio. The solfeggio frequencies have their roots in the heart of the ancient mysteries. It is said that Egyptian priests attuned their rituals not only to symbols but also to sounds. Vedic mantras were not mere vocal utterances, but coded vibration transmitters. The Hebrews understood the numerical power of God's name, the tetragrammaton, not just as a word, but as a sacred frequency. The first major documented traces of solfeggio frequencies, however, can be found in medieval Europe. In the 11th century, the Benedictine monk Guido d'Arezzo was looking for a way to teach liturgical chants to religious choirs. He devised a scale based on a special sequence of numbers. It wasn't just any scale. The notes came from a hymn dedicated to Saint John the Baptist, each line of which began with a separate syllable, the combination of which formed the ancient solfeggio scale, ut, re, mi, fa, sol. Each syllable was assigned a frequency. What few knew and what was kept secret for centuries is that these frequencies were not chosen at random. They corresponded to precise mathematical proportions and had the ability to resonate deeply with the human body, nature, and soul. These frequencies were later eliminated from the Western musical system, replaced by the standard tuning of 440 Hz, a frequency that modern studies ironically associate with tension and biological incoherence. The true solfeggio frequencies fell into obscurity until they were rediscovered by researchers of the mystical and mathematical tradition. And this is precisely where surprising connections emerge. The mathematician and mystic Leonardo of Pisa, better known as Fibonacci, described a sequence of numbers, the famous Fibonacci sequence, which also appears in the harmonic arrangement of these frequencies. Pythagoras, the father of sacred geometry, already established that the universe consists of numbers and proportions, and that music is the purest form of communicating these proportions. From an esoteric perspective, solfeggio frequencies are resonance codes inscribed in the vibrational matrix of the universe. Each frequency is like a key that unlocks a different level of consciousness. There are 9 tones, 9 doors, 9 states of being that remind us of our original purpose. Yet the most fascinating thing is not their history, but their effect. Anyone who listens to them or consciously intones them will notice something extraordinary. Clearer dreams, more ordered emotions, a sense of unexplained peace, resurfacing spiritual memories, and in many cases, spontaneous healing processes. Shamanic traditions have always known that drumming, flutes, and singing were not entertainment. They were medicine, vibrations in service to the soul. The ancients knew what we know today. When sound is sacred, the body recognizes it, and the soul responds. Therefore, the solfeggio frequencies are not just history. They are a heritage, they are not a curiosity. They are a map. And those who dare to listen to them consciously don't just listen, but remember, they listen to a frequency. Solfeggio isn't simply hearing a tone. It allows a sacred geometry in the form of vibrations to penetrate the energy field, reorder cellular memories, and open inner doors that have remained closed for centuries. Each frequency is a sound archetype, a vibrational code that, when it encounters your consciousness, activates a subtle alchemy. We begin this journey in the depths of the body, where matter still dominates, and slowly ascend to subtler levels, ever closer to spirit. These are the first 5 tones. 174 Hz, the fundamental tone of calm. This frequency is the vibration of the physical body in its most primitive state. It is called the frequency of relief because it acts like an energetic balm that relaxes tissue, releases tension, and imparts a feeling of deep cellular rest. It is the foundation, the living earth that supports your temple. Spiritually, it teaches us that healing begins in stillness and that without a firm root, true growth is not possible. It's perfect for anyone who suffers from insomnia or anxiety, or feels like they don't belong. In the language of the soul, 174 Hz whispers, "You are safe. You can rest within yourself." 285 Hz, the frequency of regeneration. Here, the sound begins to touch invisible structures. 285 Hz affects not only the physical body, but also the surrounding energy field, the so-called etheric body. It stimulates cell regeneration and the energetic reconstruction of organs and tissues, as well as the reconfiguration of auric wounds. This frequency acts as a subtle architect, repairing what has been broken. It is said to help with post-surgical processes or trauma-related imbalances. Beyond biology, it activates a vibration that reminds your body of its original form, its master of perfection. 396 Hz, liberation from fear and guilt. Here we enter the emotional realm. This frequency opens the door to the unconscious and begins to remove what has been destroyed by years of suppression. Fears, feelings of guilt, inherited traumas. It is the first volume of emotional liberation. It affects the root chakra and releases limiting memories, especially those related to survival, lack, and powerlessness. 396 Hz has a cleansing effect. It dissolves emotional sludge, allowing life energy to flow again. Its message is clear. Free yourself from the inner prison. 417 Hz, the book of change and rebirth. Once the old has been released, it must be replaced with something new. 417 Hz is the vibration of harmonious change, of spiritual rebirth. It is ideal for those experiencing transitions, ruptures, and symbolic death processes. This frequency eliminates recurring negative influences and opens the energy field for rebirth. Like fire that burns away what is necessary, 417 Hz transforms chaos into opportunity. It is useful for breaking karmic cycles and starting anew with a higher, more stable vibration. 528 Hz, the code of love and transformation. We have reached the most well-known frequency, that of universal love and DNA repair. It is called the miracle frequency because it works at the deepest levels of biology and consciousness. It is said that DNA responds directly to this vibration, reorganizing its structure into more coherent patterns. But 528 Hz transcends the body. It is the frequency of the awakened heart, the vibration of unity, forgiveness, and love, which is neither self-demanding nor conditional. Hearing this frequency activates a sacred memory, that of essential being. These first 5 frequencies form a scale of vibrational ascension, from matter to soul, from body to light. Each frequency has a different purpose, yet they are all interwoven into a greater whole. These are sounds of awakening, whispers from the universe that, when heard with the soul, have a transformative effect. In the first 5 frequencies, Solfeggio, we ascend from the root of the body to the expansion of love and inner healing. But the journey doesn't end there. There are 4 other higher frequencies, less well-known but no less powerful. They affect less the body or emotions, but rather the more subtle levels of being, consciousness, intuition, the soul, and their direct connection to the divine. These frequencies are like stargates that lead us back to our cosmic architecture. By vibrating, they not only stay healthy, but also remember 639 Hz, the frequency of connection and harmony. The heart, already activated by 528 Hz, now attempts to vibrate beyond its own limits. 639 Hz is the vibration of sacred connection with others, the frequency of love that unites, harmonizes relationships, and restores the bonds of truth. It's not about romantic love, but rather about recognizing the other as a mirror and extension of one's own being. This frequency helps heal broken relationships, attract new, resonant souls, and restore harmony within groups, families, and communities. Spiritually, it opens the field for deep empathy, active compassion, and conscious service. It is the sound that reminds us that we are not islands, but notes of the same cosmic symphony. 741 Hz, the frequency of inner awakening. In this phase, the sound begins to touch the structures of the mind. 741 Hz is a frequency of deep energetic cleansing. It removes negative fields, mental toxins, and subconscious blockages that prevent the expansion of consciousness. This frequency has a clarifying effect. It frees us from destructive thought patterns, promotes authentic expression, and strengthens the inner voice. It is especially useful for those who feel they have lost their spiritual direction, are trapped in mental noise, or have forgotten the sound of their own soul. It is also associated with the thyroid and the throat, thus with conscious expression and the ability to name the truth. At its deepest, 741 Hz awakens the gift of seeing and speaking with energetic clarity. 852 Hz, the awakening of intuition and vision. This frequency opens the door to higher levels of perception. 852 Hz affects inner vision and stimulates connection with higher wisdom, intuition, and spiritual guidance. Those who meditate at this frequency report greater intuitive clarity, meaningful synchronicity, and revelatory dreams. It also promotes disconnection from worldly distractions and a deep return to the center of the soul. 852 Hz invites you to live from the eagle's perspective, rising above duality and viewing reality from higher planes. At this level, intuition is not a feeling, but a way to see the invisible with absolute certainty. 963 Hz, the frequency of divine unity. Here we reach the peak of the Solfeggio scale. 963 Hz is the frequency of the pineal gland, the awakened third eye, and the remembrance of the divine self. It's called the frequency of God, not because it belongs to a religion, but because it activates the feeling of oneness with the entire universe. This tone doesn't heal like the previous ones. It awakens us and reminds us that we are more than body, more than spirit, more than history. We are infinite consciousness in a temporal experience. The 963 Hz vibration allows access to heightened states of meditation, activates mystical visions, and leads to states of total emptiness where separation no longer exists. It is the frequency of sacred silence, where the ego disappears and only being remains, the place where every question dissolves because no answer is needed anymore. Together, these 9 frequencies form a sacred scale, a sound map for inner development. They are not just vibrations to listen to, but energetic initiations. Those who consciously use them will never be the same again because ultimately, it's not about which sounds you hear, but about which level of yourself they give you access to. Solfeggio frequencies are not just meant to be heard, but also experienced. To integrate them, it's not enough to just do something else. They require presence, intention, and Above all, a willingness to allow their vibrations to penetrate the veils your mind has built up over the years. They are a subtle yet effective medicine. For these frequencies to truly act as spiritual catalysts, it's important to prepare your inner ground. Here, I share practical yet deeply esoteric advice with you so you can make solfeggio frequencies a vibrant part of your daily life. 1. Listen consciously. It's more than just listening. It's resonance. Don't set these frequencies as background music while you work or check your phone. Take time at least once a day to actively listen. Close your eyes. Sit with your back straight. Take a deep breath and let the sound sink in. Don't analyze it. Don't judge it. Simply observe how it affects you. Imagine each note as a liquid light penetrating your pores, traveling through your organs, and caressing your energy field. Listen with your body. Listen with your soul. 2. Vibrate what you need, not what's fashionable. Each frequency fulfills a specific function. Not all are suitable for everyone, nor for every moment. Ask yourself, do I need to release blocked emotions? Do I want to heal my body? Do I want to expand my intuition? Or do I want to connect with the divine? Choose the appropriate frequency based on your answer. For example, if you are experiencing grief, 396 Hz can help you release the pain. If you feel like you've lost your spiritual path, 852 or 963 Hz can help you recognize this. Choosing the right frequency is like choosing a medicinal herb. Dosage and purpose are crucial. 3. Combine both with visualization. Frequencies don't work alone. Their power multiplies when combined with guided imagination. While listening, visualize what you want to release, heal, or activate. When working with 528 Hz, imagine your heart opening like a bright red flower, radiating love and appreciation. The mind is a creative tool. What you imagine while listening becomes vibration, and this vibration becomes reality. 4. Integrate sound into your rituals. Whether you're meditating, moonbathing, journaling, practicing yoga, or simply enjoying moments of silence, use these frequencies as a ceremonial backdrop. They create a sacred atmosphere, a resonant field that promotes introspection, healing, and awakening. For example, start your day at 417 Hz to bring about positive change, or end your night at 174 Hz to calm your nervous system and lucid dreaming. 5. Use your voice as a channel. Remember that you can not only hear these frequencies, but also intone them. Even if you're not a singer, your body vibrates when you produce sound. Chant long chants like EOOM while listening to the frequency. Let your chest, throat, and skull become resonating chambers. The sound vibration from within has a multiplying power. The verb is not only creative, it is also healing. 6. Don't measure the results. Observe the changes. This is a subtle path. Sometimes you'll notice immediate effects: relaxation, tears, peace. Sometimes the changes are imperceptible at first, but you'll find yourself making better decisions, dreaming more clearly, and reacting less emotionally. Don't expect miracles. Observe the movements of the soul. That's the true sign that the frequencies are working. Living at the right frequency means living in alignment with your original purpose. It means choosing to vibrate above fear, chaos, and collective noise. It means making sound your medicine and silence your mastery. And when you make every day an act of attunement, you become the instrument through which consciousness plays its highest melody. All creation is vibration, the ancient sages said. The mystics suspected it. Quantum science confirms it today. Nothing is still. Everything vibrates. Everything resonates. And you, like the stars and the oceans, are a symphony in constant motion. Solfeggio frequencies are not a curiosity or a spiritual fad. They are fragments of the original language of creation. Acoustic codes that not only travel through the air but also penetrate the soul, reminding you who you are, where you came from, and where you are meant to return. We have traveled through 9 frequencies, each a vibrational element on the ladder of awakening. From the lowest frequencies that regenerate the physical body to the highest that activate spiritual vision and connection with the divine. 9 portals, 9 keys, 9 ways to resonate in harmony with your being. And now that you know them, the question is no longer whether they work. The real question is, do you dare to let them affect you? Because using them means much more than just playing an audio. It's about an inner attitude, a voluntary surrender to the sacred order you've forgotten. It means allowing these frequencies to dissolve inner structures that the ego has built for your protection, but which have also limited you. It's about listening with your soul, not your ears, and living in harmony with that inner melody that makes you unique but not isolated, human but not alone, limited but infinitely expandable. Those who listen to solfeggio frequencies with an open heart don't just heal a symptom, but reorganize their entire energy field, not as someone who wants more power, but as someone who chooses to remember their original power. Because when you vibrate at the frequency, you don't manipulate reality. You consciously create it. This journey doesn't end here if you choose. Yes, every day, every emotion, every decision can be an opportunity to vibrate more harmoniously. And when you vibrate differently, the entire world around you realigns. I invite you not to remain in awe. Transform your surroundings into a temple of resonance. Make your mind a tuned space. Make your words a conscious vibrational act. Make your presence a living frequency. Because ultimately, the real question is not what sound you hear, but what vibration you live in. Thank you for exploring the invisible map of the soul with this video. If you feel these words have touched you, share them, subscribe, turn on your voice, and above all, listen. Not with your ears, but with your whole being. For when the soul remembers its sound, silence becomes sacred.